James Gunn, James Gunn, James Gunn, I need you now. Anne, calm down. Anne Sarnoff, calm down. What do you want? Put a picture on your social media. Put a poster out of your little Suicide Squad movie. Now, damn it. Now. And send a copy to Jim Lee. Now. Oh, and by the way, James, you are releasing the trailer tomorrow. Hey, hang on a minute, Anne. Hang on. I haven't cut it together. I don't care. That damn Restore the Snyderverse people. They're trending over 1 million. We must do something now. Now. I mean, I will organise a stitch-up variety interview again, but for now, put that damn trailer out now, damn it. Now. Welcome back to Big Mouth and welcome to the DCEU Daily. Yes, Anne Sarnoff and Warner Brothers Pictures are running scared over 1 million tweets trending on Twitter. Wow, I am so happy and so excited. And yes, there is a poster for James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see the trailer. By the way, by the time this video posts, James Gunn's trailer for his Suicide Squad movie would be out there anyway. And I will react to that trailer because I am excited for everything that DC is doing, unlike WB Pictures. You absolute clowns. You do not deserve to represent the name Warner Brothers. The Warner Brothers who founded this company were good, intelligent, visionary, genius, compassionate people. And you certainly don't deserve to represent Detective Comics, DC Comics. You are toxic at the very, very core. By now, we all know, we knew this beforehand, even before the release of Zack Snyder's Justice League Snyder Cut, that the Snyderverse is a marketable commodity. There is a market for it. How dare you? How dare you drive Zack off this project to begin with? How dare you make Ezra Miller lay on top of Gal Gadot? How dare you? How dare you? How dare you? How dare you bully and mock Zack's picture in front of his cast and crew that he put together? How dare you? How dare you? How dare you? Right? You don't like us. We don't like you. That's a fact. And now we have become more than a petty annoyance. The Restore the Snyderverse tag is out trending James Gunn's The Suicide Squad, even though you and he put out a poster. You are being embarrassed. Marketing disaster. Public relations disaster. You are absolute cretins. And even though you are absolute cretins who have embarrassed yourselves, and we are continuing to embarrass you, right? And how dare you, Anne Sarnoff, when you, on your first day of your job, our community sent you flowers and letters welcoming you to the position, hoping we could ingratiate ourselves to you. And you call us toxic. You're not having none of that, are you? We're not having none of this. You call us toxic. You are working in a community with the very fabric of toxicity. The stuff that you people get up to behind the scenes disgusts me to its very, very core. How dare you? So I'll tell you what, Anne, we're not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. We're going to have to learn to live together. How can we do this? Well, my suggestion is for me to be an intermediary, and I'm being serious here. And we have to talk about how we're going to go forward, because the Snyderverse is going to be restored and your central universe will continue to be developed. I'm excited about the multiverse strategy, and if you go back on my videos historically, you will know that. No one's suggesting that we tear down your central multiverse kind of plan. No one's saying that. We are suggesting you just allow Zack to have a little corner over at HBO Max, right? That's it. That's all we're suggesting. And you went and did a hit piece with Variety? Why? The film was released. It was doing well. I don't care if Wonder Woman 84 had more engagement in its opening 5 minutes than the Snyder Cut. It's not true anyway. But even if it is, it doesn't really matter. It is irrelevant. The whole thing is irrelevant now. Because right now, and by the time this posts, we're going to be well into the trailer of James Gunn's Suicide Squad. But what's going on now is the Restore the Snyderverse event is going to go on and on and on. It's not going to stop, especially now that we know, our movement and our fandom actually know that you are releasing a trailer. We know you never planned to release that trailer, but you did it because you're desperate, because a bunch of ordinary working class people have schooled you, Anne, schooled you. So, we have to learn to live together, right? So, what are we going to do here? Are we going to keep on fighting each other? We need to restore the Snyderverse. Zack Snyder has made it really clear that he wants to continue with his Snyderverse universe, live-action universe, right? He has plans for another 2 Justice League movies and spin-offs as well. It's a commodity. It's a valuable commodity to your company. And even though you don't like him and you don't like us, right, unfortunately, we're not going anywhere. And clearly, Anne, I think what you've noticed with this over 1 million trend, that so many verified accounts and public figures are also supporting us now, something that wasn't the case a few years back. So the atmosphere and the climate has changed. You are in the middle of a public relations disaster because these public figures are supporting us from all over the world, not just the United States. I've retweeted so many public figures supporting the Restore the Snyderverse hashtag. And you're on to a hiding to nothing, my friend. There's no way you're going to get away with this, and you know it, right? You need to release the haircut and you need to restore the Snyderverse. This is not a negotiation. What this is, that we can all live in peace together, right? We don't interfere with your films and you don't interfere with the Snyderverse. It's going to be greenlit by someone other than you, Anne, anyway. It's going to happen. So why don't we have a peace, have a truce, and all live together? I have never been involved in a situation like this ever, and I've been watching films and TV dramas since I was a very, very young boy. And I've never seen a ludicrous situation like it in my life. You know what, Anne? If the Snyderverse wasn't a marketable commodity, I would respect what you were saying. But it is. It's going to make you money. It's going to make the company money. It makes no sense to resist it. But resistance, my friend, as they say in Star Trek, as the Borg say, is futile. So, we have to live together. You go on your end and we go on our end. We don't interfere. Zack doesn't release content or market his stuff if you're marketing his, right? And you don't market stuff and let news out if he's doing something for his property. We live together. We act like gentlemen and gentle ladies, right? That's what we should be doing. Working together. This DC cinematic universe, right, has so much potential. But right now, this divide within your own company, between us and you, isn't going to work any longer, right? I already said it. Your plans for the DC cinematic universe are very exciting. You are right to represent many voices. I agree with that. There's no question about that. The multiverse strategy is a good one, and I have no issue having a more kind of continuous, expanded kind of thread of a franchise with crossovers and continuity and connective tissue is the right way to go. But what you did, Anne, with that variety hit piece was despicable. If you want to talk about toxicity, you were toxic. We want to represent many voices, not just one fandom. We all know what you were attempting to say there, right? Look what's happened, Anne. Look what's happened since your interview. You have lost. I don't understand what you were attempting to do. I really don't. But it hasn't worked. Whatever the plan was, it's backfired. It's not worked. And you releasing a trailer for James Gunn's The Suicide Squad isn't going to work, because if we outtrend you, as I say, as this video is being viewed, already the trailer is out there and our fans are still hashtagging Restore the Snyderverse. Beyond our fans, everyone, including public figures. So right now, I don't know the trends because obviously this is the middle of the day here in Cyprus. And by the time this goes out, thanks to my shitty internet, you know, we'll be way past this. But you are in a bind. We're going to keep on going. We're not going to stop. I will support the Central DC universe without question. I am not boycotting. I will always talk about stuff, right? And I'm very excited to see this trailer. And as I've already said, this video is out there and I've probably posted my reaction to James Gunn's The Suicide Squad trailer as well. Very excited to see that. I've been through that. So this is not about me wanting the Central Universe to fail. In fact, I believe for the Central Universe to succeed, Zack Snyder's Snyderverse needs to succeed. For Zack Snyder's Snyderverse to succeed, we need the Central Universe to succeed. Both kind of entities of this DC live action universe need to work together. But I agree, they should never intertwine, right? You don't want that. You don't want Snyder's vision intertwining with yours, and Snyder's quite happy for his vision not to intertwine with yours, right? Either way. So I am suggesting as an intermediary, right, you get someone, a fan, just to talk to you both. I'm happy to do that via the internet, via Skype. Right, I do believe, I believe everything I said on the top of this video. Quite rude, quite aggressive, but you deserve it. Because the original Warner Brothers who founded this great company would not have agreed with that Variety interview. It was toxic at its very core, Anne, and there was no need for it. I know you don't like the public having so much power and influence, but it's our game. It's our world. We live for these products. And because we live for those products, you're able to make these products and have a profitable outcome for them, from them, right? So, Anne, I suggest we learn to live together because the Snyderverse is going to be restored. Whether it's today, tomorrow, 6 months, 6 years, it really doesn't matter. We've got nothing better to do. You have. You've got a section of a company to run. Warner Brothers Pictures. Do you realise the privilege you have by representing that side of the company? A very proud history. For many, many years, it was the whole company. But you're not doing it proud, Anne. You are letting the original Warner Brothers down and their legacy because this is not why they set up this company to begin with. People used to get into entertainment to entertain people, to compel people, right? And to inspire people to follow them into the industry. Who wants to join your industry right now with the way you're treating the fans? And you're not just abusing us, you're abusing the public figures that all of a sudden, since seeing Zack Snyder's Justice League, are joining us in this fight. How many tweets have I read, Anne? People saying, well, I can't believe this, but I love Zack Snyder's Justice League and I want more. Hashtag Restore the Snyderverse. It's a ridiculous situation for you, Anne. It is. But you're going to have to take the L. Take the loss. Because you have lost. There's no way through this. There's no way around this. You are fighting against a fan base, a movement that doesn't need money to market itself. We just need a hashtag. You can label us as toxic, but as you've noticed, that hasn't worked and that hasn't stopped us. So you've embarrassed yourself, you've embarrassed Warner Brothers Pictures, and you have hurt the Warner Brothers legacy. You must stop hurting the Warner Brothers legacy. Zack Snyder is an auteur. He's a visual artist. He's a genius. This is the very reason the Warner Brothers founded this company to begin with. Mel Blanc was a visionary. The animators at the Looney Tunes were visionaries. Superman the movie was made by a visionary director. Lethal Weapon, a visionary series about a white cop and a black cop uniting together. Wow, wow, what hefty times in history this studio had before you people turned it into something else. Now we're having a public slanging match, fans, consumer versus executives. Do you understand, Anne? Do you understand what's going on here? This is embarrassing for you. We don't have a reputation. We don't need a reputation because people are standing with us because they want what we want, to restore the Snyderverse. As I've already said, Zack Snyder is an artist. He's a genuine man. He's a family man. He's everything you should aspire to be. A gentleman. He never disrespects you. He talks respectively even when he exposes what you did to him. You didn't want the Flash, or not you, I don't know who, but the entity that is Warner Brothers didn't want the Flash time traveling. Why? You didn't want John Stewart, the Green Lantern of colour. Why? You didn't want John Jones, the Martian Manhunter. Why? Have you ever opened a freaking DC comic in your life? Why wouldn't you want these things? Why? Because you didn't want Snyder to use them, because you thought the Snyderverse was a dead thing and you weren't going to restore it. Wrong, wrong, wrong. You're wrong, Anne. Ultimately, if we don't get this, if we don't restore the Snyderverse, we will be hashtagging this for the rest of ours and Zack Snyder's life. They're the facts. We're always going to be there, right? But it's not just us anymore, Anne. It's a whole army of people. Can you call actors, producers, directors, public figures toxic as well, Anne? Because that's what you're doing at the very fabric of that Variety interview. This needs to be over, and this needs to be over really, really quickly. It does, Anne. As I say, this is embarrassing for you. You took a tactic to do a hit piece with Variety. And simply, my dear, it didn't work. Worse than that, it failed. You failed on every level of public relations. You broke every rule of public relations. Because you could have done this hit piece, you could have made them ask you, hey Anne, what about restore the Snyderverse? What do you think? Well, we've got no plans right now, but who knows what the future holds? Easy, easy. What was wrong with that? It doesn't mean you were going to restore the thing. You gave some innocent working class people who don't have much else in their lives a little bit of hope. That's it. You could have been kind and generous and gentle, but instead you got the interviewer to ask about our so-called toxic fandom, who's donated to people, who's helped people cure their cancer with their donations. This movement's done so many kind things to so many people. And you went out there and you tried to label us as toxic to turn other people against us. What did it do? It united us all. Why? Because your timing is shit, Anne. Shit. Didn't you read the room? Didn't you see what was going on? Don't you understand? You didn't read the room, Anne. And I said it before I even saw Zack Snyder's Justice League Snyder Cut. People are going to love it. They're going to go back and give Man of Steel and Batman vs Superman Dawn of Justice another chance. And they're going to love the direction. Now, a normal company would say, here's the keys, Zack. You're not going to do that. I understand that. Fair enough. And all we're asking for and all he's asking for is a little corner in HBO Max that's going spare, empty. Let's face it. Something that is going to get you subscribers. You can see now from the trends. Surely you can see that. But you don't want to come from your high horse because you were exposed. You want to use an embarrassing version of his film that you destroyed as canon rather than his actual film. You want Justice League to be canon, a film that messes around with someone's upper lip, that makes an actor lie on top of a woman, and treated its cast and crew disgustingly. We already know that. There's no denying that. With accusations of sexism, racism, and all sorts. You want that film to be canon, Anne. Just for that very logic, you shouldn't even have your job anymore. And I'm not the only one saying it. It's not just people in this community, from this community, saying that, Anne. Everyone is saying that. How dare you? How dare you think you can have Justice League as canon? It's embarrassing that you want to do that, Anne. It's embarrassing. Don't you understand? Everyone makes fun of that film. It's a figure of fun and for all the wrong reasons, Anne. Don't you understand? Don't you get it? Because you don't like Zack Snyder because he and his people exposed you and we, the fans, exposed you. Now, I know, Anne, that you weren't there during Justice League. I know that Walter Hamada wasn't there during Justice League. We know that. But you have got involved with a toxic amount of people, right? So, and you are leading that toxicity now. But you can't win. How many times in life has a powerful entity beat a bunch of innocent people fighting for what they believe in? Did the Americans beat the Vietnamese in the Vietnam War? No. They sent you packing. Because people fighting for their very homes and their very lives, well, they've got a lot of incentive. Now, I'm not saying the Restore the Snyderverse movement is a matter of life or death. It's not, but it's a way of life for so many people. They believe in these characters. They believe in this interpretation, and they will fight with everything they've got. They will do it morally and they will do it properly, but we will. We'll use the old ways. We will do whatever it takes to win. We will keep on hashtagging and fighting your narrative that we're a toxic fan base. Because that's what happens in life, Anne. When people spread lies and try and indoctrinate people and use access media. What are you going to do, Anne? Are you for the next few years going to keep on doing hit pieces with access media and releasing trailers and announcing projects that are never going to happen? Is that what you're going to do, Anne? Because it's not working. You released the poster for James Gunn's The Suicide Squad, and Restore the Snyderverse out-trended Suicide Squad. Think about that for a minute, Anne. You're being schooled by rank amateurs who don't know this industry. How is that, Anne? It must say something either about us or it says something about you. You went and did that interview, Anne, and you failed on so many levels. And now the consequences are over 1 million tweets for Restore the Snyderverse. That, Anne, is something that you can't fight against. There's nothing you can do. You can sit there and say, no, not going to happen. Oh, no, we're not having any of that. But the problem is, Anne, the more you dig yourself a hole, the hole you will be in. And you've got John Stankey to answer to, and you've got Jason Keeler to answer to. That's the problem. This is becoming a messy situation for the whole of Warner Media. As I keep on saying, a public relations disaster. How long can we have this situation? Now, I know that somehow Toby Emmerich was able to have say-so all films across the board at Warner Media, including on HBO Max. That has to change. You people get your little corner at Warner Brothers Pictures, that's fine, the cinematic movies. But you shouldn't be able to interfere with what Zack Snyder or anyone else on streaming is doing. That's something that Jason Keeler has to change immediately. And he can change immediately. This is what has to happen. We cannot carry on like this. You say something, we respond to it, we win. You say something else, you lose again. You release a statement about upcoming films. We respond to it. Do you understand, Anne? We're hurting each other. You try and promote a trailer and a poster for James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. It doesn't trend as much as it should do because we're out trending you. Do you understand, Anne? Do you understand how you can't win this? This is the truth, Anne. You have embarrassed the whole of Warner Media. Here's the truth now. There's no way out of this. There's no PR machine or PR campaign that can help you. There's nothing more popular out there right now than Zack Snyder's Snyderverse and the Restore the Snyderverse community hashtag, right? You can't fight against social media, Anne. You don't have the levity. You don't have the goodwill of the people. You're not Bob Iger. You're not Kevin Feige. You're not Bob Iger. And Walter Hamada isn't Kevin Feige. I'm sorry, Anne. Nobody trusts you. Nobody cares. Bob Iger and Kevin Feige can do and say what they want. But they still mind their P's and Q's. Have you noticed that, Anne? How those two people always respect the fans, even if they don't behind the scenes. Who knows? But they respect the MCU fans, right? Even how terrible Lucasfilm has become to the fans, Bob Iger has always been respectful. Think about that. And you're out there with Variety calling the fans toxic, that you don't need us because you wanna kind of appeal to other voices, but you don't have those voices support, Anne. That's the problem that you have. But under the right circumstances, you could have our support. You may be successful with this central DC universe. But here's the problem, Anne, and it's something I've referenced before. Because of what you did with the Variety interview now, every one of your films has to be the most successful ever. The Suicide Squad, Flashpoint, Aquaman 2, and so on. Shazam, Fury of the Gods. Everything has to be the biggest hit ever. And I'm sorry, Anne, you're not going to be able to do it. Right? You're not going to be able to get $1 billion+ for every project. And we all know how the media work. If a film makes under that, it's deemed a failure. We know that. We know that. So you can't win. And we can't win until we restore the Snyderverse. So isn't it better, Anne? Isn't it better in this situation where we're both butting heads? Let's just say, let's try and live together. As I've already said, it's not like we're asking you to kind of green light something that has got no marketable capacity. The Snyderverse is going to make money. Zack Snyder's Justice League is making money and helping HBO Max. You know, you guys released that Batman vs Superman 4K Blu-ray, IMAX Blu-ray. I tried to order one within 10 minutes. They were out. I couldn't. The other day, pre-orders for Zack Snyder's Justice League Snyder Cut on Amazon UK. I couldn't order a copy. Gone already. Do you understand what you're up against, Dan? But not up against. This should be a positive thing for you people. So I really don't understand what the problem is, right? You're working with Zack Snyder. He's there. He's willing to do something that people want to see. So you need to wind your necks in and green light Zack Snyder's Snyderverse. Restore the Snyderverse. That's what has to happen here. You don't have a choice. I'm sorry, but you don't. Because these trends will continue. And we know that public figures are supporting this as well. So right now, you're not just pissing us off. You ain't just got us to contend with, but you're up against public figures. So listen, I don't understand how your section of Warner Media, Warner Brothers Pictures, thinks this is a good idea. Warner Brothers Pictures and Toby Emmerich made a mistake. They drove Zack Snyder out instead of allowing him to finish his arc, then saying, right, Zack, that's it for you. We're going to do something else, like they do in the comics. Easy, but you didn't do that. You made, Toby Emmerich made a mistake. He's been embarrassed by that mistake, but don't make things worse. Don't belabel the mistake by doing this and wanting Justice League to be canon and not wanting to further and continue the Snyderverse. These are dumb, stubborn moves made by emotional, arrogant people. And you can't win. All you're doing right now is hurting your own company. And ultimately, Anne, you will lose your job if you fail. If your DC properties fail, this central universe fails, and we all know it's all riding on Flashpoint. If that film fails, if Christina Hodgson's script doesn't work, you're in big trouble. And that's the pressure, my friend, you are under. So I ask you again, please restore the Snyderverse. But this is the DCEU Daily, right? So let's have a look at this, right? This is pretty cool. I really, really like this. It's the poster for James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. And I think it's a really, really good poster, by the way. And I'm excited for it. I'm not here to hate on the central universe. Let's be absolutely clear about that. So that is amazing. Really is. And I really like it. But today, you've already seen the trailer. You must have done, right? By the time you see this video. And I'll be reacting to it. But it doesn't take away from what we're trying to do. It's very, very important. It's very, very serious. what we're attempting to do with Zack Snyder's Justice League Snyder Cut. We've restored the universe, restored the Snyderverse. Let's hope, well, actually, the way the universe is going, we probably do need to restore the Snyderverse. But it's a great poster, and I hope the trailer's awesome, and I'll be checking it out later on and reacting to it. But I want you to know how you think it's going with Restore the Snyderverse. Do you think we have a really good chance of restoring the universe, or are we just wasting our time? I don't think that we're wasting our time. We will restore the Snyderverse. There's no question about that. How we do it is very important. It's important that we don't show them that we're some kind of toxic fan base, to keep on doing what we're doing it well, doing it with banter, doing it with good humour, but I think we're doing a really, really good job. And thank you to everyone who's involved. By the way, before I go, something pretty fun here by Mr. J on Twitter. Where are we? Where is it? Here we are. This is me as Darkseid. Look at this, how freaking cool it is. I'm even smoking a cigarette. I want to put it on all my social media kind of profile pictures, but because I'm so vain and I like people seeing me, you know, I kind of like my real picture on there, but I will find somewhere to put it because I think it's awesome. So thank you to Mr. J on Twitter, who is very much part of the Snyderverse community. So awesome. Wow, I really do like this. Anyway, comment down below, like, share and subscribe. And I'll be back tomorrow with even more DCEU Daily. See you again soon.